Hello, my friends. Let's talk about safety and security while living in Ecuador. Let's get started. Hey, Roger. Oh, Rocket Roger. Hello there. I believe it was Teddy Roosevelt that said we have nothing to fear but fear itself. And while that may be true in the States, I don't know for sure how true that is here. There are some things to fear about living in Ecuador, but it's very easily controlled, okay? I have a list here. I compiled a list of 16 items in my trusty little notebook here about things that you need to be aware of that can help you with safety and security while living in Ecuador, whether it's just visiting or whether you're here for full-time retirement. As with any country in the world, you have to be aware of what it takes to keep you safe and secure in your environment. Okay, so let's start. So here's number one. Be prepared for the unexpected. Always. And I guess that's true if you're living in the States as well. Be prepared for what you don't know. Be prepared for the unexpected. That's a very solid, strong statement. I mean, and I think it's also kind of hard to do because sometimes it's you can't spend your whole time, every waking hour thinking about how are you prepared for safety and security. But as a general rule, always know what you need to do to keep yourself safe and secure. Number two, learn about the no-go zones. The no-go zones are, especially the biggest one is, best example is the border with Colombia. You can't go there anyway. I don't believe they'll let you there anyway. But that is definitely a no-go zone. There are areas in Guayaquil that you don't want to go to. There's areas in Quito that you don't want to go to. And I'm sure there's areas right here in Manta that you don't want to go to. I know that there are areas here in Manta that I don't want to go to, and I never will. So when you get here, ask around, ask people, where is it safe to go? I think you'll know. I know that the first time I walked to El Centro here in Manta, I felt a little scared. It was definitely a different looking neighborhood than the one that I live in. It's a lot of people around, but I've come to learn since I've been here that El Centro is probably really a relatively safe place to go. There's lots of expats there. Just follow the rest of the rules that I'm going to tell you about here during this video. Keep your exposure to a minimum, meaning don't wear flashy jewelry, don't flash your money around, don't carry expensive stuff with you. If you're going shopping and you got a lot of stuff, break your shopping up into 2 or 3 different trips. And if you have a lot of stuff with you, take it back in a taxi. Don't go walking with it all. Now, I'm not talking about a sack of groceries, but I'm talking about like anything that you buy in the mall that's going to come in a big bag. Keep your exposure to a minimum, all right? Don't let people see all this stuff, Do your best to avoid it being seen. Ride with friends, take a taxi, or break your shopping up into multiple trips. Besides, when you're here, you have nothing but time, okay? So you got plenty of time to do that. I do it all the time. Number 4, especially around Quito, Guayaquil, and this is a good one. If you're in an area where there's no one around, get out. You're in the wrong place. You don't want to be there. If there's nobody around, there's a reason for it, okay? So keep that in mind. If you go somewhere in any of those cities, and I guess really this could pertain to any city here, if you're somewhere and there's nobody around, you better get away because you have nobody to witness, you have nobody to protect you, you have nobody to rescue you. you're in danger. Get out, okay? Just keep that in mind. Number 5, be aware when around large crowds, mainly for pickpockets. Pickpockets, I never thought about pickpockets when I lived in the States. I lost a pair of $176 Oakley sunglasses here at the fish market. Now, I was told because of where I carried them in my shorts, I carried them in a side pocket. I put one of the arms in the side pocket and I let the glasses hang out on the side. And I remember I was walking with a friend and a lady approached us, and I know I was distracted. And I remember shortly thereafter looking for my sunglasses and they were nowhere to be found. I don't know if this lady pickpocketed me or if they actually fell out, but I carried them like that a lot. But pickpocketing, you can be pickpocketed very easily and not even know it. People will bump into you and next thing you know your phone is gone because you had it in your back pocket. If you're carrying a backpack, don't carry it behind you in the back, especially in a large crowd. It's okay if you're walking down the street, going to the mall, going to a restaurant or whatever. When you start getting around people, you need to be completely aware of where everything is you own on your person and where it's located. Keep your cell phone in your front pocket, your money in your front pocket. If you have a money belt, put it in a money belt. Me personally, I'm going to wear a money belt, but I'll be talking about money here in a minute, and I'll tell you some more about that. Number 6, if you're on a bus, keep all your belongings in your lap or under the bus, in the carriage, okay? Now, there's a lot of discussion about that. If you get on a bus, and let's say you're on a bus and you're going to across town, or you're going down to one of the beach towns where it's 20, 30 minutes or an hour away, and you have a backpack, do not put that backpack under your seat. Do not put it under the seat in front of you. Don't put it in the overhead. Don't do any of those 3 things. Keep your backpack in your lap or give it to the agent when you arrive and let him put it underneath and he'll give you a claim check for it. Anything else, if somebody approaches you on the bus and offers to put your luggage away for you, say no thank you. No gracias. And you'll get to keep that stuff. Number 7, if carrying bags around, don't put them down. They'll be gone. Okay, simple as that. I don't think I've ever done that. Maybe if I put a bag down, I put it down on a ledge right in front of me while I'm shifting stuff around, or, but especially in a crowded area, don't put a bag down while you go searching through your purse for money or whatever, because it'll be gone. Okay, it can and most likely it will be gone. Number 8, don't wander around in the dark. Now, I've been told here that it's safe. I've got 70s and 80s-year-old neighbors here that say they walk in the dark all the time. Nah, I don't buy that. I walked in the dark one night from the mall to here, and I was nervous about it because even though there's street lights everywhere, dark is dark, and people can hide where you least expect them. If you feel safe, in my very immediate neighborhood here, I can walk around in the dark. But I'm telling you, we're here where I live, and I live in a fairly safe neighborhood. I can walk 3 blocks, and I will not be there in the dark. No way. Not going to do it. Number 9, I hate to say this, don't trust anybody you don't know. The way I read it when I was doing my research for this talk was they said don't trust strangers. Well, I guess that's people you don't know. I've often been quoted as saying, don't trust anybody. Don't trust anyone. I think that you can trust your friends, but when in this context, when you're out in the public, don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody. If somebody comes up to you and approaches you, the very first thing you need to do is make yourself aware of where everything is. My cell phone, my money, glasses, everything. Make sure you know where everything is, your backpack. And don't let go of anything. And if anybody offers to help you with anything, unless you're in dire need of help, do it yourself, okay? Number 10, I love this one, hand it over. Now, this has never happened to me, but I've talked to people here that it has happened to. If somebody pulls a gun on you or a knife, or even if they just are big and threatening, mean looking, tough looking, and they tell you to hand it over, give it to them. It's not worth your life. It's not worth it. Just hand it over. And I'll tell you a little bit later on how you'll be able to deal with that, okay? Number 11, don't wear flashy jewelry and don't show your money. Well, it's almost impossible to not show your money because you have to pay for things. A lot of stuff that you buy here in Ecuador, you pay for with cash. Little vendors on the street don't take credit cards. About the only place that you can use a credit card is in the major stores, but everywhere else, you're going to pay cash. But don't pull out wads of money. Just make sure that when you leave your house for the day, that you only take enough money that you think you'll need for that day. Don't take any more than you can afford to lose. I'm not saying this to make you think, as a matter of fact, I'm not saying any of this to make you think it's dangerous here. But it's a different country, it's a strange country, you're new here, you're a gringo, you're vulnerable, you're a target. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care how big or tough or mean or ugly you are, you're a target. Somebody is looking to rob you or cause you some kind of harm, or just, don't show your money. Don't flash jewelry and don't show your money. Don't show people that you are well-to-do. Keep yourself minimal, okay? Number 12, stay out of bad neighborhoods. I think I already covered that. I don't know why I said it again here, but I'll say it again. Stay out of bad neighborhoods. If you don't know if the neighborhood's safe, don't go. Unless you know for sure it's a safe neighborhood to go, don't go. Simple as that. Number 13, don't show fear. Case in point, I was walking on the beach one day, and I was on the boardwalk, and there was a young kid approached me, not approached me, but he was coming my way as I was going that way. Immediately, I made eye contact with him and made sure that he saw me looking at him. He didn't have a mask on. He didn't look like he had any business being there. And I walked on and kept on going, and when I saw him the first time, he was going the opposite direction. The second time I saw him, he was going the same way I was going. I had my camera with me, and this kid was following me. And finally, I turned around, I stopped dead in my tracks and turned around, and I took a deep breath and I stared him down. And I looked him right in his eyes, and I made sure that he knew that I wasn't afraid of him. And he finally went on. And I mean, it was one of those things where we were looking at each other eye to eye, and finally, he went on. Don't show any fear. You don't have to be tough. You don't have to show that you're tough. Just don't show fear. And if you don't know what I mean, Google it, okay? Ask somebody. Ask a cop. Ask somebody that's in security. Don't show fear. The best way to not show fear is to make eye contact. If you make eye contact and people see you, they know that you are aware of them, they're most likely going to leave you alone, okay? Number 14, keep your valuable documents at home. Your passport, your cedula when you get it, your visa, all that stuff, keep it at home and have a copy of it. There's really no reason to carry your passport after you've been here, especially after you get your cedula. You really don't need to carry your passport. I keep a picture of mine in my phone, and if somebody needs to see the passport number, I'll show them the picture, and if they don't like that, then say, ciao, okay? Number 15, I think I touched on this a minute ago, is carry only the money that you need. Again, you're going to always be having a lot of cash on you. You have to have cash here to live here in Ecuador, but leave it at home. If you're going, well, I'll put it this way. If I'm going to the grocery store, more than likely I'm going to use my local bank debit card that I have at my savings account. But if I'm just going about my normal day, I'm going to go eat breakfast at my favorite breakfast spot, and I might go to the grocery store and pick up a couple items. There's no need for me to carry more than $30, $40. Just don't do it. Don't carry $200 or $300 with you, okay? Because you're going to have to take that money out of your pocket at some point, and you don't know who's watching you. So take only what you need, okay? That's number 15. Number 16, actually, before I cover number 16, I want to say a little bit more about money. And once I didn't touch on this a minute ago, but you will use ATM machines here a lot. Now, some ATM machines around the country have guards close by. Most of the time, you're safe. But I use the one at Banco Guayaquil that's in the mall. I use it a lot. I get my cash from that machine, and there's always people around. So when you go to an ATM machine and you get like $200, $300, $400, like I do, like especially when it's time to pay my rent, put that money in your pocket and take a taxi home. Don't walk home. You don't know who 20 feet away is watching you and will follow you. And they might follow you all the way to your place and just wait for that opportune moment when you're weak or vulnerable and you're losing your money. So when you get cash out of the ATM machine, plan to take a taxi, unless you're just getting $20 or $30. Again, don't take more than you can afford to lose. Okay? The last thing I was going to tell you about is more about safety than security. Earthquakes. We have earthquakes here. We have a lot of earthquakes here. There has been several shakers since I've been here that's rattled me pretty good. We had one last week, a 5.4, that made my lamp up there swing around, and it scared me. It scared me, okay? So be prepared for earthquakes. One of the things that I was told, that since we use bottled water here, always keep a couple bottles, the 5-gallon bottles of water in your apartment, okay? Because you never know when you'll be able to get fresh water to drink after a major earthquake. Also, have a good flashlight. Have a good flashlight around, because if it happens in the middle of the night and we lose power, you need to be able to see where you're going, unless the worst happens and your building collapses. But most likely you're going to survive it. I mean, you need to be able to see where you're going. I always, every night when I go to bed, and I did this back home because of my fear of fire, I always, when I go to bed at night, my underwear and my t-shirt and my shorts are on the floor right next to my bed. If something happens and you have to get up in the middle of the night, you want to get dressed. You don't want to go looking for your clothes. Same thing with shoes. Know where all this stuff is at all times, because you don't want to be looking for it. Keep your money close by. Make sure you have water. I'll just cover the shorts and the t-shirt, and that's about it. There's a lot more information about earthquake preparedness that I'm not going to cover here. I'm just kind of giving you a summary here. So I want to say Ecuador is safe as long as you're on top of things. Just be aware of these things. You don't have to, this doesn't have to consume your mind at all times. But Ecuador is a fairly safe place. I mean, I feel safe here. Somebody asked me the other day on one of my posts if I feared getting robbed here, because I put a post, I put a picture of a guard with an AR-15 standing on the sidewalk outside the cafe where I was eating breakfast. Well, no, I don't fear getting robbed, and the reason why I don't is because I follow all these rules. It could happen. I could still get robbed. I could walk out my front door and get robbed, but I don't think it's going to happen. Okay? Use your common sense. When you go to pay bills, learn how to pay all your utilities and stuff like that. Your cell phone, your power, internet, all that stuff. Learn how to pay it online. Okay? And then I've already talked about taking money from the ATM machines. That's pretty much it. I hope I didn't scare you. Ecuador is an awesome place to be. I love it here. I don't think I ever want to go back to the States. There's things I miss, but sure, this is a really cool place to live. And you have to practice safety. You have to be aware of safety wherever you live, whether it's here, Amsterdam, Mexico, United States, Mesa, Phoenix, I don't care where you go. You always need to be aware of it. But I never was as much aware of it in the States as I am here. From Manta, Ecuador, in the Manabi province, I thank you for watching my video. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You can subscribe if you want to. And don't forget to ring the bell if you want to get notified when I post another video. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.